the Naxal-Mukt Bharat plan seems to be in action. The dreaded Maoist leader has surrendered. Clearly, this is a Maha crackdown on red terror. A top Maoist leader has laid down his arms. Remember, 60 Maoist cadres surrender as well along with him. This clearly is a cleanup that is in full swing. Of course, more details that are trickling in as far as this surrender is concerned. But this is a big win for our security forces who have been carrying out this operation. India's Naxal-Mukt Bharat plan clearly is showing results. Now, in a major breakthrough, a top Maoist leader has surrendered along with 60 cadres, of course, marking a big success in the crackdown on red terror. The surrender is being seen as a major step forward in the ongoing cleanup operation across Naxal-affected regions. So that is, ladies and gentlemen, the latest that's come in as far as India's efforts towards completely eliminating red terror from within our regions is concerned. This one, of course, coming in as a big victory. A top Maoist leader, one of the most dreaded ones, has now surrendered. And with him, we have 60 other Naxals also surrendering their arms. Let me go across to Priyank, who is getting us more on this. Priyank, take us through the details. Who is this leader? And along with him, of course, 60 others surrendering their arms.
He's a Naxal area commander who has surrendered along with 60 other cadres, which is actually another big success for the Naxal-Mukt Bharat. Last week, we saw that around 90 to 95 Naxals had surrendered before the security forces after the downfall of the Naxal movement, which is happening in this particular area. It is also important to notice that most of the top area commanders of the Naxal operation have already been gunned down by the security forces in this particular region of Bastar, Sukma, and to be very precise, in Chhattisgarh. But the surrender of the Naxals is certainly important because they had approached the central government that they want to lay over their arms, but certainly the government does not want to, compromise on any thing with respect to the security measures are concerned. At this moment, these kind of surrenders is certainly giving a very strong message that the kind of measures which has been taken by the Naxals in this area is being totally controlled by the security forces.
Absolutely, Priyank. And, as we have been talking about, this is a big victory in India's efforts and our security forces' efforts in making sure that every region of the country is free from Naxal terror, something that the government has been pressing upon as well. We've seen in the past major success by security forces as far as countering these Naxals are concerned. This one, of course, adding to that list of victories that our security forces and government can revel in. Priyanka, are you able to hear me?
Sorry, I couldn't hear your question.
Yes. Priyanka, I was talking about how this has been a big victory for our security forces and the government's efforts in making sure that regions that have been infested by Naxal terror are cleaned up. We've seen in the past major victories, major successes as far as eliminating Naxals are concerned or even making them surrender is concerned. Now, of course, this adds to the list.
Yeah, absolutely right. Because over the period of last few months, if we can summarize, top Naxal commanders have been gunned down. Many of them have been arrested by the security forces. But the kind of surrender which is happening in the last 2 weeks is also important to be noted, because if you include the 60 Naxals, on total there have been 170 Naxals who have surrendered in Sukma and Chhattisgarh, which is certainly a major, major dent to the Naxal movement which has been carried out by them, because these are the individuals who have been supplying the ground forces and the ration to the core commanders who have been carrying out the attack on the security forces. So the chain of supply has been cut after surrender of this 150 to 160 Naxals. Apart from which, we know that the top Naxal commanders have already been gunned down. So certainly it's a major improvement which is happening, and what the central government has been saying that by the mid next year, this area will be totally clean from the Naxals.
All right, Priyank Tripathi, thanks very much for taking us through the details. A big victory there for security forces as well as the government. Let's shift our focus, viewers, to the big breaking that's coming